welcome to Parenting to Win. I'm your host, Clarinda McGrady. If you're new to this site, parentingtowin.com is your one-stop shop for all your parenting needs. Here, you'll find helpful tips and expert advice for all parents, no matter if you have kids in diapers or kids in dorms. On today's show at Parenting to Win, we have Pastor Craig, counselor and creator of a new, exciting, and life-transforming program, Talk and Tell. Stick around, you don't want to miss this one. Pastor Craig, welcome to Parenting to Win. Thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you for inviting me, Clarinda, to talk about TAT.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit exactly what Talk and Tell and TAT is all about?
Talk and Tell is a program designed to empower children, parents, facilitators, and teachers in helping them to educate at a prevention plan against sexual abuse and bullying.
Awesome. Where did that need originate from?
Myself and my husband are pastors, and a lady came up to us, and unfortunately her 3-year-old granddaughter had been offended. The thing that she said to me that impacted me greatly is she said she didn't talk or tell. And so from that point, I just really wanted something to do to make a difference. And she was only 3. Oh. So it started on the journey of me creating the booklet for Talk and Tell to help parents and others to be able to prevent and empower their child against sexual abuse and bullying.
Awesome. Now, what's the prevalence in regards to the age range that you mostly see this happening?
Well, statistics show, unfortunately, 1 in 5 girls will be either approached or abused with sexual abuse or bullying, and then also 1 in 4 boys. But usually the age you see it, and it's 3, it could be 3 years old, could be more, but the kids are unable really to communicate with you, but basically by 3 years old.
I read somewhere that a statistic that says 90% of people that have been violated, they won't speak up.
Right. Most victims don't tell, so our statistics that we got, it's not really paints the true picture, because a lot of the kids they're ashamed, or their parents are ashamed. Sometimes it's within the family. So a lot of times the victims don't tell when they've been victimized, especially in sexual abuse.
So what exactly does the program do? Does it help the youth identify what exactly is inappropriate versus appropriate? Yeah,
what it does for parents is that it takes the sting away of having to talk about something that's so dreadful to a child. And so it's a parent-friendly book, and it gives them a plan, the steps, the things that a predator would say, and the things that you need to empower your child to say. And then it also gives them stickers in the back, which is fun for kids to identify those within their environment that they can talk and tell to.
So how is it different from the younger age that may experience this from the older kids in regards to the inappropriate sexual contact or behavior?
Well, younger kids have limited communication skills, and older kids do. They are still all victims. Right. But older kids oftentimes cannot express what has happened to them. So the book has some soft images in it to help kids learn good touch and bad touch, to help the younger kids.
And how can parents best support and encourage their children if this happens to them to be able to come and open up?
The best thing we could do as parents is talk to your kids. It's kind of like the big elephant, the white elephant in the room, you know? No one wants to really talk about it, but it's all in our news, it's in our media, it's everywhere. So the first line of defense is for parents to sit down and be able to have that conversation. This book helps it make it possible, makes it easy for the parents to have that conversation with their children.
So basically it helps the parent to go ahead and be proactive before any signs ever even happen, just to prepare them. In the cases that you see that this happens with those kids that are sexually molested or inappropriately contacted, would you say that the offenders, that they have also experienced that themselves?
At least 90% are people who are offended go and offend, and that's the tragic part about it, you know. And so what TAT's goal is to decrease the amount of offenders, and therefore should hopefully to decrease the amount that they'll go out and offend by starting early in a child's life and giving them the tools they need to either be able to protect themselves or be able to talk and tell when it's necessary.
Right. What about siblings? I know sometimes within siblings there's inappropriate touch that goes on. It's not necessarily abusive, but it's still inappropriate touch. How can parents help teach their kids about it's still inappropriate to touch siblings?
It's still a thing about starting early.
Yeah.
Early, about respecting your body, good parts of your body that that you can have others touch, and then parts that are private. And we tell parents about talking about private parts of our body that only certain people can touch, like mommy, daddy, or the doctor. The book also explains that also.
Okay. And within your program and other things that you do, what type of programs do you have for parents to sort of, a lot of times you want to get to the root of the problem, not that the parents are the problem, but you want to be able to educate the parent as well. What kind of programs do you have to sort of empower the parent?
Well, TAT do two different types of training. We'll train parent groups, and we've done a lot of those already, which is really good. And they come and we talk to them about sexual abuse and how to introduce it to their children. And then we also do schools and other facilities that serve children to train them so that they're comfortable.
Right.
A lot of the parents are very uncomfortable with this topic, It's not like it's dinner talk.
Exactly.
But this makes them very comfortable to introduce it to their children as we walk them through the program.
Absolutely. That's wonderful that you have a bit of training for the parent to prep them as well. What are some signs that parents can to look out for, not to sort of overwhelm them, but what are signs that they can look out for just in the event that they suspect there's something going on with their kid?
Yeah, in the TAP booklet, we definitely identify the signs and symptoms because that's very important. Usually you see a child loss of appetite, pulls to himself or herself, not able to focus at school, sometimes cries at night, unable to be left alone even by themselves. Those are some of the signs and symptoms that something is wrong, and depending on the child's ability to communicate, it just depends on how deep of signs they'll reveal to you.
Right. Now, let's just say if a parent is observing some of those signs, what's the best angle? I mean, they're not going to just sort of go and say, hey, has someone touched you? But what's a good way, transition way, to go in to help make the child comfortable?
Depending on the age group, if they're 3 and just between 3 and 5, I would do some role plays with their favorite animal or their favorite doll. And that will help them get a little bit of insight if they've been violated in some way. Because they'll express it with that toy they like, and then you can pretty much see at that time. You don't want to jump to conclusions, but you do want to get to the matter.
I also hear how maybe drawing is a different form of having them to channel what's going on.
Yes.
Now, what if in the event there has been a situation where there's been a violation? What should be the first course of action that a parent should take?
Well, in the booklet, it shows them different steps they can do, from 1-800 numbers to hotlines to calling your local police. There is lots of resources when a parent do discover that their child has been handled, even if it's within the home. So I put that in the book so the parents will have that to their easy for their convenience.
Right. And also, I know that TAT also has a component with bullying, and you also do a part in regards to cyberbullying. Can you speak a little bit about the cyberbullying aspect?
Yeah, as we know, bullying is a whole new face for us, And right now, cyberbullying is really deadly because of the way it can be spread. Unlike conventional bullying, where you just tell that person and that person, cyberbullying has the ability to go viral, and then that person feels so trapped. And usually the outcome is far greater and far more drastic than just regular bullying. So what we do is we hold bullying training sessions. We did one over the summer with about 200 kids, which was very interesting to say the least. And we teach them, the repercussions and the difficulties and the danger of cyberbullying. And
obviously your cyberbully program is targeted to probably, I'm assuming, the older kids, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I read in here where it said that her cyberbullying is much more detrimental than just the traditional bullying.
Because once it gets into what you call social media, then the person feels completely like the world knows.
Yes.
And that's a little bit more drastic for that individual who has suffered that bullying.
Yes. How would you say that the social media, how does that play a part? How does that impact the cases of cyberbullying that's going on?
Well, because social media is such a hot trend with our youth, they use it for all different measures. unfortunately, they also use it in the form of bullying, and it's become a key component in many of kids, a lot of kids' choices of what happens when they're bullied, and some of them, of course, leads directly to suicide. So it's it's a good tool, but with the wrong use, you know, it has awful outcomes.
I know that you're a counselor as well. What do you say to the parents? There's so many times parents, we're in a day and age where, well, we want to give our kids their privacy. We don't think that we should check their accounts, their Facebook accounts, or their messages. What do you say about that?
Well, I usually discourage that because, unfortunately, there's a lot going on. I tell all parents to have the passcodes to their children's email addresses. You need to know it's not only just cyberbullying, but there's a lot of other predatory type of activity happening. So I kind of discourage that. You have to juggle between safety and their privacy, and safety to me will trump over privacy.
Definitely. Also, in regards to the cyberbullying and the inappropriate sexual conduct, what do you hear most from parents, their concerns?
Basically, there's concerns. It's when you talk about parents of younger kids, of them going into different environments. You know, this is the reason why we created this little bracelet right here. We give it to the kids, to the parents. After the parents have gone through the program with their kids, you know, they want to take them to different environments, but you don't want to go over the whole program again. Well, the TAT wristband right there, you slip it onto your kid and say, remember what we talked about? And when they go into camp or go to school or go to different environments, they can look at that and remember that they can talk and tell.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, because also what it will do, it opens up a conversation piece for the parents, so it makes the transition a little easier.
Yes, it does.
So I know, can you speak a little bit about exactly where the program is being offered? I know that different churches, and schools. Are there any other areas where people can benefit from this?
Well, if they go to our website, which is talkandtell.net, all the resources is there. Usually we get invitations to schools, to churches, different facilities, parent groups, and we come out and what we hold is safety awareness training sessions, where we tell them how to keep their child safe, the different symptoms they need to look for, and then we have schools who take this on as part of the curriculum. And they put it in within their curriculum, and the kids go through the course. And after it's over with, they have a certain ceremony for them. They put up posters in the school. It's called TAT Zone. And what we do is we go into a facility and we tell them that we're going to TAT Zone this facility. So that would discourage any predator that comes into that facility. They would know all the children here has been trained to talk and tell.
Oh, that's awesome. Very nice. Well, Pastor, before we get done, I just want to ask you: is there any one takeaway piece that you can give to our parents that are watching in regards to them supporting and encouraging their kids in this walk?
I would tell them to be very proactive. Because of what you hear in the news, there is no safe place we have found yet that sexual abuse and bullying have not affected our children. So TAT is a program about being proactive, about getting in there, equipping our children, empowering our children before they become a victim.
Right, awesome. And before we leave, if you want to tell our guests that are watching how they can contact you, get more information about TAT, any other questions they may have, if you want to give them your website.
I would love to. Talkandtell.net is our website. You can go there. All of our resources is there. You can order the booklet there. There's T-shirts and wristbands, all the things you need to empower your child and to give them the tools they need to prevent sexual abuse and bullying.
Pastor Craig, thank you so much for being a part of Parenting to Win. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Until next time, I'm Corinda McGrady, reminding you that raising your child to be a champion makes you a winner every time.